So, good morning to all.
Good morning, ma'am.
Very warm welcome to faculty members. We'd like to start this session with welcome address from Dr. Subhashini, Prince Sri Venkateshwara Arts and Science College. Subhashini ma'am, please.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. A very warm welcome to all faculty and students present here. The objective of IIC is to prepare students with skills like critical thinking, design thinking, innovative thought process, and entrepreneurial mindset. Keeping this in mind, Prince Sri Venkateshwara Padmavati Engineering College and Prince Sri Venkateshwara Arts and Science College has jointly organized a program on angel investment or venture capital funding opportunity for early stage entrepreneurs. I take this opportunity to welcome our speaker, Principal and IIC President of Prince Sri Venkateshwara Padmavati Engineering College, Chennai. She is here to enlighten us about venture capital funding. With these few words, I wish you all a fruitful discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, Subhashini ma'am. It's a great privilege to have our principal on board for the online session on angel investment, venture capital funding opportunity for early stage entrepreneurs. And I'd like to invite Dr. Hemalata to introduce about our principal and the resource person for today to the participants. Hema ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Audible, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, everyone. A very warm welcome to the gathering. I am profoundly delighted to take an opportunity to introduce the chief guest, Dr. G. Indra, Principal of Prince Sri Venkateshwara Padmavati Engineering College. On behalf of our management, I want to extend my token of love and warmth by embarking her journey as a professor. She did her UG in Indian Engineering College in the year of 2001. And her PG was in the College of Engineering in the year of Engineering Hindi in the year of 2008. She completed her PhD in the year of 2017 in College of Engineering Hindi, Anna University. She had 19 years of teaching experience, and we feel proud to have her as the president of IIC Innovation Ambassador. She has published more than 20 Scopus journals, along with the publication of 5 patents. She has been a guiding light in all the ways to achieve our goals. She is working towards connecting the young minds to strive towards success and achievement. Indeed, being a principal, she motivates the students and faculties to excel in all walks of her career. To talk about her would probably consume a lot of time because her achievements are endless. She has always raised the benchmark for hard work and dedication in our institution. Without further ado, I would like to request our principal, Dr. G. Indra ma'am, to share her perception, and I'm sure will enlighten the young pillar of our institution to become a successful entrepreneur. Please, ma'am.
Thank you for your introduction, ma'am. Shall I screen?
Yes, ma'am, I have enabled your.
Okay, ma'am. Is it visible, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, clear.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Okay. Thank you. So, a very good morning to one and all present here. And Ms. Dr. Hemalata ma'am, introduce myself. Thanks for your introduction, ma'am. And first, I am going to share a few words about angel investment or venture capital funding opportunity for early stage entrepreneur. So, this is the agenda of this program. First, the role of IIC in higher education institution and indexing of innovation. And we have to know about what is business and startup, the difference between business and startup. And in for starting a business, we need the funding support. So for that, how the investors and venture capitals or how they are supporting us in terms of money and other things. And in order to get the funding, how we have to do the pitching. So this is the agenda of today's program. And first I'm going to start with the role of IIC in higher education institution. So our country, that is our India, has initiated and a Ministry of Education has initiated the process of making all the higher education institution for the process of having the innovation council in all the institutions in order to focus on innovation, startup, and also entrepreneurship. So through that, actually, after 2 days, we are going to have the celebration of our Independence Day. So in this year, our country is having the motto of having more startups and innovation. So we are working on that. Our country is working on that. So we are the part of our country for having better, for making our country best entrepreneur, for making more entrepreneurs from our country. So in all the institutions, we are having the Institution Innovation Council. So that Innovation Council is first focusing on identifying and scouting ideas and to find out the best in the areas. So we are having the more innovation ideas from the students and also alumni and also the faculty members and entrepreneurs which are incubated at the institution level. So first, the MIC is focusing on identifying all these products, conducting various events like SAH and innovation contest, other things. So every institution part in that. So we have to conduct so many events like a hackathon for identification of the best ideas. So from that, we have to select the best idea and whether it is possible to have the whether it is possible to it is possible for further development, and also we have to check whether it is possible to become a startup or entrepreneur, to become entrepreneur, all those things. So these things are happen in every institution. So for that, after identification of the best ideas, then they have to motivate them and they have to guide them, and so they have to do mentoring action for further proceeding. So for proceeding further. So for that, every institution is taking actions to by providing the support like mentoring, and also they at the initial stage, so they do not know how to get the fund or grant. So we have to motivate them, and also we have to guide them in getting assistance. And also after in the idea level, after finding the best ideas, then we have to nominate for national innovation challenges, and by that way we can proceed further. And also after developing the prototype, we have to link for the production of prototype. We have to link them with the proper incubation units, so that we can refer and link various incubation units. So that we have to every higher education institution should provide the support in this manner. And the major difficulty in producing, in having or becoming entrepreneurs, the main difficulty is the funding. So mainly they have to, every higher education institute has to focus on providing the funding. So for that, they can connect with angel investors, and also venture capital networks. And also they have to connect with technology transfer for utilizing the facility and other things, so that they can move towards the sustainable generation, and they can produce more innovative products, and we can make them as a successful entrepreneur from every HEI. This is the role of every institution innovation council. So first, before starting a startup or innovation, just they have to know what is the how can we index the innovation level. So there are 3 levels of index level. The first one is technology readiness level and manufacturing readiness level, investment readiness level. So they should know about the base readiness level to proceed further. So first, we can start with the technology readiness level. So, so actually, our every institution is making all the actually they are finding the ideas. So from initial level, they have to the proof of concept and product level. So they have to understand what the indexing of various innovation, and they have to understand that. So for that, first the level is decided by the technology readiness level. By means of knowing this, so by this readiness level, we can understand the technology maturity level. So under this category, at this level, we have 9 stages. And first level is TRL1. So before starting here, in the initiation of a product or idea, first they should have scientific observations. So how can we make the scientific observations? So we have various journals. So from that journals, journals or papers, first we have to go through all the papers, so that we have to get a clear idea about the technology's basic concepts. Okay, so that is the first step. So that is TR level 1. So basic principles are observed from various journal papers. So first we have to do the proper literature survey. So from that we can identify the basic observations, scientific observations made and reported. So from that, so we can find out what is the problem. So how can we find out the solution of that? So in that way, we can find out the creative ideas. So this is the first step, and this is tier level 1. Then tier level 2, that is technology concept formulated. So under this TRL level, we are formulating the technology concept. So first we have to do the literature survey. Then we have to do the, so after we are having any idea, so just they have to do the analytical study on that. Okay, so this is technology level 2, that is TRL level 2. So the next one is the proof of concept. So they have the idea, they have done the analytical study. After that, they have to of concept. So they have to create some model like toy, so that they have to validate the analytical prediction. So the first step is literature survey, and then they have to do the analytical studies. After that, they have to validate the analytical predictions by means of having some studies or laboratory measurements and other things. Okay, so this is TR level 3. So next level is TRL level 4. So TRL 4. So in that, first after identification of after doing the proof of concept and after the validation at the measurement laboratory measurement level, they have to validate the technology, or they have already done the design investigation. So through the design investigation process, they have to validate the technology, and that should be, and they can see what is the result. So so if the results are good, then they can proceed with that. So at the laboratory level, the technology is validated. So that is TRL level 4. So first one is literature survey. Then then we have to do the analytical studies. Then laboratory measurements for validation of that prediction. And after that, they have to after receiving the result, they have to analyze the performance under the laboratory level. So this is TRL level. So next development stages, technology validated in related environment. This is TRL 5. So after doing the after producing or making the proof of concept, we have to make the model, or we should have a semi-integrated system or model of that product or process with what is the technology involved in that and what are the supporting elements needed. So all these things are developed, or we should create the simulated environment, and then we have to validate whether it is working or not. So that is TRL 5. So next level is TRL 6. So this is in this level, we have to create the relevant environment, and we have to demonstrate the technology what we have developed. So the prototype system we have developed, so that one should be verified. So first we have done the proof of concept. So then we check whether it is working properly in the simulated environment or not. Then we have to, under the simulated environment, we have to produce the prototype or model. So it is produced and then it is demonstrated in a simulated environment. So that is verified at this level. That is TRL 6. So next level is system model or prototype demonstration in operational environment. So in this level, the maturity level of the technology is increased. So just the prototype model or system what we have produced is verified in the operational environment. So first in the simulated environment, we have done the prototype, then we have to demonstrate it. After the verification process, then it is verified in the operational environment. So this is TRL 7. So next is TRL 8. So just we have completed, we have to do the system in a complete manner, and then we have to check whether it is qualified or not. So if it is a qualified model, then it is TRL 8. So the product or process which is generated or found out is in the TRL level 7 is used for manufacturing of the actual system or model. So and this one is so we have to make the product, and then we have to check whether it is qualified in the operational environment or not. So first we have to do the analysis in the simulated environment, then we have to create the model, we have to create the environment of operational. So in the operational environment, we have to check the system whether it is working properly or not. Then we have to make the product after the quality verification. Then we have to manufacture the actual system what it would be, and that have to be operated in an operational environment. So at this level, the TRL, this is the end of the development process. So that this TRL level, that is 8, TRL 8 represents the end of the development. Okay. So next one is TRL 9. So the actual system proven in operational environment. So already we have developed the system, and then it is we produce the system and we check whether it's qualified operational environment or not. That went to the market. So commercially, we are going to have the deployment of that system. So the actual system or model being successfully deployed for, and so it has to be deployed for multiple missions by various types of end users. So these are the technology level, readiness level stages, development stages. So we are going to have the technology validation in the relevant environment. So this is technology readiness level. So for the technology development, we can have various stages like proof of concept, validation, demonstration, system, or a technology and component, all these things. So these are the development stages. So this has to be verified in the relevant environment. So this has all these things are tested, and then it is coming into the market. So that's all about the technology readiness. So next, so this is the growth of, in this manner, we are going to have the growth of any startup or business, so that we can make our students have a, or to make them as an entrepreneur. So these are the various steps just now we have discussed. So we have to scout the ideas, innovative ideas. Then we have to make them to make a proof of concept. After the validation at the laboratory and also in the simulated environment, we have to validate that one in the laboratory level. So the next step is making the prototype in the simulated environment. And then we have to check whether it is, we have to validate that one in the operational environment. Then we have to deploy that model into the market. So in this, so that by deploying the market and if it's successful, they can be a best entrepreneur. So this is the growth of startup or entrepreneur. And in this way, we have to proceed in our institution. So next level is manufacturing readiness level. So through this manufacturing readiness level, we are going to understand the maturity of the manufacturing process readiness. So the MRL, manufacturing readiness level concept, it was developed by United States Department of Defense. And this is used for assessing the maturity of the manufacturing process throughout its conception and development process, and also support progression, deployment, and further and various phases. And we are going to scale this. The manufacturing readiness level is scaled from 1 to 10. So the first one is MRL 1. So actually, the basic manufacturing implications of identified. So we have to do the basic research. So what we discussed in technology readiness level, that will be related to the manufacturing readiness level. Just we are going to focus on the manufacturing of the product, manufacturing process of the product, and how it is coming to the market. So that in that way it will be proceeded. So first one is basic manufacturing implications identification. So the basic research is going to expand the scientific principles. So first we have to initially know about the scientific principles, and during the manufacturing process, manufacturing implications, we have to identify by doing the basic research. So this is MRL 1. And then manufacturing concepts identified. So first we have done the research for knowing about the manufacturing implication. After that, the invention is going to start. So we are going to have the process of proceeding further. First, we have to identify what are all the materials required and what are all the approaches what we have followed in from the literature survey. So, and then we have to analyze. So is there any drawback or is there any drawback in the existing stage? Then we have to suggest for our new product or new procedure for new approaches and for any existing problem or solution. So now at this level only the invention begins. So this is TRL, MRL 1. So manufacturing concepts are identified under this stage. So next is MRL 3, that is manufacturing, the proof of concept development. So this one is also related with TRL level. So we have to conduct the analytical and laboratory experiments for the validation, for validating the paper studies. So first we have the literature analysis survey. So from that we identified the problem and we are going to find out the solution for that. So whether we have to check whether the new solution or product is going to be it is going to give the proper solution for the existing problem or not. So first we have to do the analytical survey, or we have to conduct some analytical approach or laboratory experiments for validating data. So that is coming under the MRL 3 level. So the materials and what are the process we are going to suggest is characterized for manufacturability and also availability. So we have to do the further evaluation and demonstration process if it is required. Okay. So next is MRL 4, that is capability to produce the technology in the laboratory environment. So we should have we need some investments, and we have to find out the proper technology for the development of any product. So we have to ensure the process and the processes to ensure the manufacturability, durability, and quality increase. So first, what is the various steps for manufacturing that product and how the quality will be. So all these things will be checked. All these things should be checked. And at the time of manufacturing, we'll be having various problems or risks. So that should be identified. So that can be developed or as a prototype. Okay. So first we have to understand the risk factors. Then we have to proceed further for prototype building. Okay. So this is MRL 3. So next, coming to MRL 5 category, we have the capability. At this step, it is capable of producing the prototype components in production relevant. So after the production of the prototype, after completing your prototype, we have certain strategies, manufacturing strategies. So those are defined and integrated with the risk management plan. So after that, we have to identify the technologies and whether what are the components needed and the prototype materials, what are all the equipments needed, how the personal, what are all the skills required for making the product by a person. So all these things are needed that should be demonstrated in a production level environment. So this is MRL 5. So next is MRL 6. Under this category, we are going to have the capability to produce the prototype system or subsystem in a production related relevant environment. So we are going to follow some strategy. So initial manufacturing approach is developed. So we are having a lot of processes, and that has to be defined, and also it should be characterized. And so, and also in that process, we have to concentrate on the engineering and design changes and whether it is feasible or not. So all those things should be checked so that the prototype materials, tooling and testing equipment, and the personal skills are already demonstrated in a production relevant environment in the previous step. So now we have to do the cost analysis. So if you are using different materials, what would be the cost? What is the proposed material? So we have to focus on that. So the detailed cost analysis should be considered here. So that is coming under MRL 6. So next step is the capability to produce a system or subsystem or components in a production representative environment. So we have to know the manufacturing processes and procedures, and that has to be demonstrated in a production representative environment. So in that case, we have to do the trade analysis and also the risk factors, risk analysis. So all these things are undergone. And after that, what is the cost model updated with the latest design? And we have to fix the target and what is the unit, how can we reduce the unit cost? In that way, we have to proceed. So we can have the supply chain and supplier quality assurance are assessed in this level. And this is regarding MRL 7. And next, we have to produce a product at low rate. So we need to design the system in such a way that we are going to have the production at low rate. So all the materials which is supplied to the consumer at low rate, and also whether it is having the better quality or not. So that should be checked. So in a proper environment. So for that, so the product which we have developed should be proven that in a pilot line environment. So we have to produce the product at low rate or low cost, and we should have the we should not compromise with the quality of the product. So all these things will be done in stage A, MRL stage A. So next is, so after producing the product with low cost, so always the consumer will compare our new product with the existing product. So whether it is having best quality and also whether it is capable of producing or giving the product at low cost, all these will be tested. All these will be compared or analyzed by the consumers. So we have to focus in that manner. And then after making the product with the low cost, then we have to begin the full rate production. So just, they have to check what is the procedures, what we have to know about the manufacturing procedures and policies, and which are established and controlled. We have to make the quality level assurance, and we should have the quality level control, and whether it is meeting the desired characteristic at this low cost or not. So all these things will be checked. And then after checking that, the actual cost model which was developed, which has to be developed for full rate production environment. So so this is MRL 9. And then we have the full rate production demonstrated and lean production practices in place, that is the MRL 10 level. So this is the highest level of production level. So all the design challenges or engineering challenges are checked, and generally it is we have to check whether it is limited to quality or cost improvement or not. So all these things will be done, and with that we are going to produce a reliable product and quality product to the consumer. So all these things will be checked. So the full production cost is going to meet our goal, and whether the funding is sufficient for production at required level. So all these things will be done in MRL 10. So the next indexing of innovation is investment readiness level. So now the idea, we developed the idea, and we are converting that one to startup with the help of VC. Okay. So so in order to assess this level, we have 9 levels. So this level starts from 9. So this is a basic level, IRL level 9, IRL 9, investment readiness level 9. So full commercial development, after the development of that product. So it takes a full-time process of engineering staff. So we have to check, they have to check or verify whether the operations are meeting the cost, yield, or productivity targets. Okay. So so the next level is IRL 8. So this is pre-commercial demonstration. So the operating conditions after the producing the target, after producing the product, we have to check whether it can meet the target or not. So that has to be checked in the IRL that is defined by the investment readiness level 9. So next level is IRL 8. This is pre-commercial demonstration level. So under this condition, we have to we have to check whether we are having the proper operating conditions, or we are going to have the whether it is possible to give the quality product or not. So that will be assessed in this IRL 8. Then IRL 7, prototype high fidelity MVP, minimum viable product. So this is integrated with the pilot continuous operation. So next level is, in the next level, we have to do we have to validate the business model. So we have to understand the operational conditions and other things. So next level is IRL 5. We have to validate the product, and we have to check whether it is market fit or not. So we have to do the integrated validation of the minimum viable process and also process engineering. So that we can make then after that, high fidelity laboratory environment should involve for testing the equipment, so that that can simulate, and also it is going to validate the specification whether it is working well in the laboratory setting or not. So this is IRL 5. So after that, after that we have to make a prototype of low fidelity minimum viable market product, viable product, and in this, the system, the representative of the component or system is having the limited ability to provide anything but initial information about the end product. So we are going to make a prototype, and that prototype is having the ability to provide the information about the new product. So whether it is going to, it is capable of giving the information about the entire final product or not. So that is defined by IRL 4. So before making the product, we are first making a we are having the idea, so that has to be implemented as a proof of concept. Then we are making it as a prototype. After that, we are making a final product. So this is the various step. So in this, we are going to check the prototype for low fidelity MVP. So next level is IRL 3. We have to validate the problem. So initially we found problem. So we analyzed the problem and we found the solution. So whether that solution is correctly fitting our requirement or not. So that has to be validated. So this is done in IRL 3. So next level is IRL 2. So we have to apply the research concept, like what is the market size, and we have to do the competitive analysis, because in the at the market we have a lot of competition. So we have to do the competitive analysis whether it is feasible to sell the product or sell the product or not. So that has to be analyzed. So that is analyzed with some research process, and then we should have the business plan should be initiated at this level. So value proposition and intellectual property rights identification, all these things will be done in IRL 2. So next is IRL 1. So the basic research concepts, all these things are completed. So after that, we have to complete the business model. We have to complete the business model canvas. This is IRL 1. So this is the basic thing, or how we can categorize the investment readiness level in this manner. So initially we discussed about technology readiness level, then manufacturing readiness level. After that, investment readiness level. So we have to invest on that product, or so with that we have to become a best entrepreneur. So that is our aim. And that aim, this investment ready, the classifications are there for indexing of the innovation. So so this is again telling about the investment readiness level. So the investment readiness level 1. So the business model canvas. Business model canvas was filled in, and it is describing about the assumptions, what are the assumptions for each entry into the business model concept, then outline how each assumption will be tested, measured, and how we are going to have the success in that. So this is going to act as a test for checking.
4018.
Please. So next is IRL 2. In the market size or competitive analysis is done in the section. So we have various subsections of this market, and we have to do the competitive analysis, so that the competitive map. So all these things, the competitive analysis will be done under this stage, and then the problem or solution validation is done. So for the validation of the customer problem, we are going to have, or we are going to interact with almost 60 to 100 interview. They have to attend or they have to meet various types of consumers, and then they have to validate. And then the prototype solution is validated with 20 plus interviews in IRL 4 and IRL 5. Again, we have to validate with some market channels and customer relationship. And then IRL 6 validate the revenue model with the validation is done with the 20 plus interviews. Similarly, IRL 7 is market hypothesis and test developments or tests are developed to guide the learning through from MVP. So so this is the actual market, which is based on the prototype is built. Based on this, the prototype will be built. Actual market is analyzed. So based on that, the prototype is built. So next is IRL 8. The partnership ecosystem is mapped. So the funding and growth model is built. That is, the IP requirements are identified and secured. Then assumptions in the left 4 blocks are tested and validated with the 30 plus interviews. So finally, so the IRL 9 level. So some customers occur. That is the measurement system is done in the proper place. So the idea is ready for launch or sale or license, etc. So these are the readiness level. So making the idea to startup to VC. So so first we have some idea. So we are our higher education institutions are motivating the students to make the ideas to product or anything like, so that they can act as a entrepreneur, so they can become the best entrepreneur. So we before that they have to identify what is the difference between the startup and business. So both are something like same, but a business is not a startup. So business is nothing but selling a product in commercial. So this is commercial, that's all. So whether it can be an existing product, it can be an existing product also. Okay, so selling the product or some commercially they are selling the product means that is coming under the business. It can be a small business or a large business, you don't bother, but selling a product is called as a business. Then startup. So turning a new product into commercial use. So even business, while doing the business also, they are facing a lot of problems. We are having a lot of problem if you are going to produce or introduce a new market into for the commercial application or for commercial use. So every business is not a startup, but every startup is a business. So selling a new product or by turning a new product into the commercial use is startup. So that is rising money at the early stage. So getting money for business is somewhat easy, but for startup, you want to become or if you want to start a startup, it is very difficult to raise the money. So we are finding very difficult at the early stage of entrepreneur. The early stage entrepreneurs are finding it very difficult at the start stage. So raising money will be very difficult. So they can get the money from the students. Suppose if you are going to start a startup, up to 50 lakhs means our friends or parents or colleagues can give money. So so we can have that startup up to 50 lakhs. So our profit is also less under this category. So if we want to grow the business, so we need to invest more. So if we need more investment, somewhat about 50 lakhs to 3 crores, we need external investments. Okay, so now we are going to talk about the angel investors and venture capitals. So the finding or becoming, the startup, if we are finding very difficult to make the for having the startup in our life. So if we want to start a new product or if we want to sell a new product into the market, it is a very big challenge. So the early stage entrepreneur are not having more revenue. So at the early stage, they are not having more revenue. So when they turn into an entrepreneur, then only they are gaining some revenue in that. So angel investors, initially I talked about angel investors. So angel investors are nothing but the person who are going to invest their own money to invest in small business. So they are investing only about 50 lakhs. Up to 50 lakhs they are investing, and they are investing their own money, or they may get the money from their friends, colleagues and parents and things like that. So investing their own money in a small business are called angel investors. So for angel investors, they will not analyze more about anything. So what is the outcome, all these things, they will not analyze that too much. Okay, so they are more likely to invest in business, and they are just starting the business. So they are taking the risk, they are taking more risk, because they are spending their own money. So it's their own risk. Okay, so they don't expect much from that. So that's all about the angel investors. And when we are talking about the venture capitals, they are not using their own money to invest in companies. So they are not going to spend their own money. So they are approaching some companies, some other companies for investment on that product. So to make it as commercial use, to have that product in commercial use, they are not going to spend their own money. They are going to approach some other person. So the person who they are approaching are called venture capitals. So they are doing, so the venture capital, just like that, they are not going to invest money on you. So they are doing more analysis, because they are going to spend more money, and they will check whether that product is feasible, whether it is coming to the market, whether it is working or not. All these things will be analyzed by that respective concern. So a lot of people, other people are also involved in this process, and also further development stage also a lot of people will be involved. Okay, so next is we have certain trends to invest in business that are already established. So if you are, if that is the already established product, so if you are investing on that, you are having less risk. You are going to start if you are going to have the startup, you are having lot of risk, so that there will be a risk of losing the investment also. So all these things will be analyzed by that concern, and they are taking less risk, because if it is an existing one, they are taking less risk, and they are not, the concerned person is not going to spend more money on that. So in that way also they are taking less risk only. So generally the venture capitals are expecting returns from that, because they are going to spend more money on that. So they will expect higher returns from that also. Okay, so this is a basic thing about venture capitals. And for huge investment, actually for small investment up to 50 lakhs, we will approach our friends and relatives, and only for huge investment only we will approach other companies or banks, and we are approaching our government also. So our government of India has initiated a lot of steps in providing a loan to the entrepreneur. So we have to use all those opportunities. So getting a loan from bank is not an easy process, because we are going to get a huge investment from that. We are going to have a lot of investment on that. They are going to spend a lot of money on that. So they will be doing the evaluation on our business. Okay, so before sanctioning the loan to the concerned person, we need to before giving that, they will just validate us our business or product, like that. So the concerned person has to do the pitch presentation about our business. So we need of presenting our business. So we'll be having the pitch presentation to that person with the person or faculty members who are going to sanction the loan. So we need to convince the people who are going to invest on us, who are going to invest on our business. Okay, so it will take 3 to 4 months or a couple of years to make a money from that. So after getting a loan, so it is not an easy process to make a money from that. So it may take 3 to 4 months, or it may take a couple of years for making the money from that. So almost 4 to 5% of the startups are getting fund from the loan, because it is a tedious process and we have to convince them. So only 4 to 5% of the startups are getting the required money from the venture capitals. So for that process we need, and also for the lifelong process, we need some mentor or person who are well in that business. So we need personal advisor also. So these are the things we need to take care of before going for bank loan. Okay. So the pitching presentation of a business, that is a main thing we have to consider. So these are the standard features while we are doing the pitch presentation. So because we are going to have the limited time, only 15 minutes pitch presentation we have, that time we should be capable of projecting our business, what is our business, how it is going to provide the solution, what is the outcome, how can reach the customer, and how we can make the money. All those things we have to clearly. So we have to make this presentation only for 5 to 15 minutes. So we have to compare our product with other competitors, how it is going to compete the other competitors which are existing in the market. So all these things we have to take care of. We need to take care of while pitching the presentation, business or startup. So all should be able to pitch, whether he can be a scientist or someone. So some person may be capable of making the product, but sometimes they cannot able to pitch the product, how it is going to reach the market. All those things he might not be capable of convincing them. So all should have the capacity, or all should be able to pitch, whether whether he can be a scientist or someone, he should have capacity or ability to do this. So these are the standard features for pitching. Then, so what should be the entire part of the pitch? So during pitching, we have to take care of something. So we are telling a story about our sales, and every story is having some problem. So what is the problem? Actually, if you are going to sell a product, what is the problem, existing problem? So how your product is going to solve that problem, and what is the solution for that? First, we have to identify the problem. What is the problem, and what problem we are going to consider? We are having a lot of problems, so we are not going to consider all those things. So what is the actual problem we are going to solve by making that product, and what is the solution, and how it is different from other people? So because in the world, we are having a lot of people who are selling the same, who can sell the same product. So how it is different from other product, that we have to deliver it, or we have to convey it to the concerned person. And what is the way in which we are going to take the product, and how it is going to reach the customer, and how we are going to how will they buy a product? Because all the customers will not buy the product, but because they will check the quality, cost, and some customers, if they are using a specific product, so they will not come out from that immediately. It will take a lot of time. So we have to convince them. So how we are going, how the customers are going to buy your product. So that also you should explain clearly. So what are the various in reaching their steps of reaching them, and how much money we are going to spend, and what is the funding we are going to get? All those things we should cover during the pitching presentation. So we are having a lot of competition, because we are not only going to apply for land loan. So we will be having a lot of competitors, and we have to convince them we are going to have the unique startup. So we have to convince them, and we have to know, or we have to find out the way how your product is unique. So we have to convince them how our product is going to be the unique product. We have to convince them. So during the pitching process, we are having a lot of competitors. So we have to convince them we are making a unique product, or we are going to have the unique startup. So we have to provide that to our competitors. So what are the things we need to take care of while pitching? Because we have to prove them this is our unique startup. Okay, so the startup which is very unique. So we have to provide the details about your competitors' don'ts. Actually, we are having a lot of competitors, so their product can be different. So what is the outcome, and how your product is different from their product. So the competitive analysis we have to provide during the pitching process. Next, we have to be more objective about competition. So next, how credible you will be. So all these things we have to consider during the pitching process. So what shouldn't we talk about during the process? That also we have to know. So in terms of business model, essentially what people know. So again, we should not repeat the same thing. And what product you are going to sell. So we need not talk about that. And problem you solve, that also you may not talk about. So what is the solution and how it is going to reach, how credible you are, and how it is different from the other competitors. So in that way, we have to proceed. Okay. So we have done the pitch presentation. After that, it will be evaluated by the investors. Business, they will evaluate business they will evaluate our business, and they will consider 3 proxies for the financial numbers. First, we have to how they are evaluating our business, that we have to know. They are going to evaluate only our leadership quality and also organizing skills. So in that way, we have to proceed, or the presentation should be like that. So somebody using, we have to convince them, some people are using our product at present, and because our product is a new product, okay, so we have to inform, or we have to make them know some people are using the product because of the facilities, something like that. And we have to speak about our awards which are received by us, and also some achieve some press coverage regarding that business. So all these things we have to project. Okay, so because they are going to analyze our leadership quality and organizing skills, so that we have to convince them we are having that capacity. Okay, so while doing the pitching process, we have to convince them in this manner. So next one is so what the investors are looking for. So they are going to provide the financial support. So what the investors are looking for, that we have to know. So they need some revenue projections with entrepreneur, or which entrepreneur maker. So suppose if you are sending a product to the market, if you are selling a product to the market, so the entrepreneur need to know what should be the revenue, what will be the revenue in next 5 years or something like that. So in a systematic manner or in any representation, they have to project it, and they have the investors will check whether the product is worked, or the business is considering the real conditions or reality in making predictions. So whether the entrepreneur considered the business reality in making the prediction, because it is only the projection. Okay, so what is the revenue, only this is the projection, and for that projection, whether he has considered the he has considered the business reality in that predictions, or will also be analyzed by the investors. So next, we will check what because we are giving the projection, what is the real our income from that, what is the real income, that all will be analyzed by the investors. So these are the things which are which are considered by the investors for providing the financial support. So while doing the projection, or because we are going to give the revenue projection, so while making it that, we should not be need not be under conservative, because after every 5th year, if our outcome or revenue is not more than 5 crore, are not willing to invest on our business. So we should have the projection, and also whether it is feasible or not, that will be checked by them. We should not underestimate our business, and those things we have to consider during the pitching process. So during the process, so they'll be putting a lot of questions. So we can expect a lot of questions. So So all these things we have to give a proper answer, because they'll be putting questions for satisfying their needs, whether it is possible to make the business in a grand manner or successful manner or not. In that way, the questions will be. And after confirming the capacity of our business, they will have the negotiation. So what will be the percentage of profit they will be getting? All those negotiations will be done. And after the valuation process will be done. So these things are under one part. So after that, they will be focusing on the term sheet. So what is the profit they will be able to get? All those things will be mentioned in the term sheet. So whether we are aware of that. So if we are agreeing to that constraints, then the investors or company or the founder will sign, both will be signed, and they will be having the share subscription agreement. So they'll be signing on that. Okay, so that term sheet will be defined in terms of or with respect to the legal rights and responsibilities. So they will consider that also. So what is the legal and financial due diligence effort that will be considered while making the term sheet. And before sanctioning the loan, they will check whether we are having any complaints on tax and other regulatory progress. So they will check on that. So we should not have any complaints on that. So after that only they will be sanctioning the loan. So in this way, the evaluation and the further process will be there after the pitching. So during the pitching process, so if you are after the pitching presentation, most of the startups are not getting the fund from the venture capitals because they'll be rejected because of some reason. So before doing our pitch presentation, we have to be aware why a lot of startups are rejected. So we have to Google it, or we are having a lot of social medias for getting various ideas on that. So we have to predict why the startups funding for the startups are rejected. We have to have the clear idea. Then we have to make our presentation about our project, about our startup. Then most of the venture capitals, most venture capital funds, what they are doing means just they are investing a large amount on our business, and also they are going to have the long network because they will be interconnected with a lot of people, and we can they'll be having the strong network, and also they can provide a best idea for the development of our business. So these are the things most VC firms are doing. So what are all the day-to-day activities of VC? That also we have to know. So they are providing the sourcing and conducting a lot of events for making us to understand the pitch, reviewing the pitch desk and evaluation analysis, what is the market level, and what the customers are expecting, and they are doing the customer interviews. So from that they are conducting various events on this, so that they will be getting a clear idea about any business or startup. And the VC investors are spending more time in supporting portfolio companies. So because in most of the companies, they will be joining as a director board member, and they'll be giving some instructions to the customers and also suppliers, and they are going to act as a key role for employing the employers for that company also. So in this, they are spending more time, and they are more seniors for fundraising, because they'll be sending regular portfolio updates to the company, because they are acting as a board member, so that they are sending regular portfolio updates also, and they are checking with investors over phone and also in person, and reaching out when new funds are raised. So these are the day-to-day activities of the venture capitals. And these are the pros and cons of venture capital. So what are the pros in the respective of pros of venture capital? We can expect a lot of autonomy to direct our work, and also study and industry we enjoy. Okay, so lot of autonomy to direct our own work, and exposure to best founders because they will be linked with the various people, so that we'll be having best exposure with that founders and experts on the trendiest companies. And also sorry, yeah, having a so it is very great for the people who are interacting, who want to have or establish a relationship with other people who are best in that. So these are the pros of VC, and the cons of VC. We are going to have a lot of structure and tons of variability, because no 2 days will be same. So we are having a lack of structure and tons of variability. And sorry, excuse me. So if you are starting a business, immediately we cannot get the revenue. So we have to be patient. So because we are going to reward only for only after 6 or 7 years. Okay, so we should have a massive amount of patience for getting reward from that, and we have to spend a lot of early years, because we need to work hard. Because if you are going to if you are going to introduce any startup or any business, we have to work hard, and we have to spend a lot of our early years in providing investors and founders that will deliver value. Okay, so these are the cons of venture capitals. Okay, so the main thing for startup or any business, the angel investors or venture capitals are important, or they are going to act as a important role for making a startup or business. Okay, thank you. So initially we discussed what is the role of IIC in innovation or making entrepreneur, and then we discussed about what is startup, what is business, and how they are going to, the early stage entrepreneurs, how they can get the money from angel investors or venture capitals, and how the venture capitals is allocating the fund to the startup, and while during the pitching, what are the things we have to focus, all those things we discussed. So is there any doubt?
Thank you, ma'am. That was a wonderful session and lots of details on TRL, MRL, and we had actually lots of doubts on the TRL and MRL because we are in the process of uploading the USP in the upload. So it was a timely suggestion and details into the minute concepts of TRL and MRL. I hope it was useful for all of them, and we had a useful session today. So participants, if you have any doubts, you can raise, and you can unmute and you can ask to ma'am. I have a doubt, like in ARIA, they have we have seen the guidelines. They have given only like TRL levels 4 to 9 will be accepted for the ranking process. So
yes, ma'am, will not take into consideration up to the TRL 3 level. After the POC level only, they will be considering. Anyway,
but why is that, ma'am? Because we will have the ideas at the startup range also, right? So yes. The guidelines they have given like that, we have to see that also.
Yes, ma'am. Already the last 2 years, we have done so many competitions up to POC they have initiated. So for further improvement, they are focusing. So for that, I think they have implemented, they are considering on the TRL 4 level, I think.
Yes, ma'am.
because they are considering the startup from alumni. So the alumni students or entrepreneur can also enter. So in order to focus on that, they have formed the guidelines like that, I think.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Participants, you can interact with ma'am. Okay. So, ma'am, shall we invite? If no queries are there, I'd
Yes.
like to invite Dr. Sabina,
Yes, ma'am.
Assistant Professor from Prince Sri Venkateshwara. You have a question? Prince Sri Venkateshwara Arts and Science College to deliver the vote of thanks. Sabina, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
A very good afternoon to one and all. I deem it a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this special occasion. Let me first of all start by giving glory to the Almighty God for making today's session a resounding success. First and foremost, I thank our today's resource person, Dr. G. Indira, Principal and IIC President, Prince Sri Venkateshwara Padmavati Engineering College, who despite her busy schedule has found time to share her valuable knowledge with us. We were all in a thought that ideation is easy, but commercializing an idea needs a lot of money. And that is why it is a Herculean task to find out means for it. Today, after listening to ma'am's session, we understood that there are various avenues for pooling the funding requirements for entrepreneurship and startups, provided we successfully undergo the pitching process. Ma'am has showcased various opportunities by which we can raise funds for productionizing our ideas. Thank you so much, Indira ma'am, for your comprehensive explanation on the topic. I also express my heartfelt thanks to our chairman, Dr. K. Vasudevan, and vice chairman of our institutions, Dr. Vishnu Karthik and engineer Prasanna Venkatesh, for providing us the opportunity to listen to such a knowledge sharing session. We are always grateful to our beloved principal, Madam Dr. M. Uma, for her blessings and guidance in each and every event organized. On behalf of Prince Sri Venkateshwara Arts and Science College, I express my sincere gratitude to IIC team of Prince Sri Venkateshwara Padmavati Engineering College for taking up our college as the Mendi Institute, for guiding us in the path of innovation, and for organizing such fruitful sessions for us. My heartfelt thanks to all the students and faculty participants from both the institutions for actively participating and interacting in the session. I conclude my vote of thanks by quoting a Chinese proverb: when the winds of change blow, some people build walls and others build windmills. So let us all try to make innovations and create breakthrough inventions. There are many supporting hands for us. Sky is the limit for today's generation. Let us together build a stronger India, and wishing you all a happy Independence Day in advance. Jai Hind.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Participants, please fill the feedback link. And Karthi, once again, post the feedback link in the chat group. Thank you so much, Indra ma'am. That was a pleasure having you online on board today. So thank you, participants, and thank you all the organizers. Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you all.